Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we'll look at using congruent triangles in quadrilaterals. Specifically, we're going to use congruent triangles to prove properties of quadrilaterals. A property is just something the quadrilateral has, something that's true of the quadrilateral. So let's look at this example. We're going to use congruent triangles to prove that the diagonals of a rectangle are equal in length. So the diagonals of a rectangle equal in length, that's a property of a rectangle. It's something that every rectangle has. Every rectangle has two diagonals that are equal in length. So in order to do this, we should first start by drawing a diagram. So we're going to start by drawing a rectangle. Now, because the shape's a rectangle, I know that opposite sides must be equal, and I know that each of its interior angles must be 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do now is draw the diagonals of this rectangle. Remember that the diagonals of a shape are just lines that join non-adjacent vertices. So these vertices here are next to each other, they're adjacent. These vertices here are adjacent, they're next to each other. But these two vertices are not adjacent, they're not next to each other. So a diagonal joins these two vertices and these two vertices. So here are the two diagonals. I want to prove that they're equal in length. I've just added names of the vertices to help me refer to things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove that this triangle here and this triangle here are congruent, because if these two triangles are congruent, then the longest side of each triangle, i.e. the diagonal, must be equal in length. So how am I going to show that those two triangles are congruent? Well, looking at the two triangles, they have one pair of equal sides, another pair of equal sides, because this side is common, and also the angle between those equal sides is equal to 90 degrees. So the green and yellow triangle are congruent by the SAS test. So because these are congruent, I've written the congruent statement showing that they're congruent. That means that this side will equal that side. The reason that BC equals AD, they're corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Remember that if two shapes are congruent, then their corresponding sides are always equal. Their longest sides must be equal, their shorter sides must be equal, and so on. So I've just actually shown what I set out to prove, that BC and AD, which are the diagonals of the rectangle, must be equal in length. And this was possible due to congruent triangles. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.